Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Well, while I'm feeling strong, we're going to start off by getting rid of these big rounds of red oak. Yeah, I've been wrestling with these for a while. These small ones are 21 inches, 22 inches, and then I got these big suckers over here. What do we got there? That's 31. Yeah. And as you saw in the last video, I've got a pretty decent way of handling these things. We put them on these pallets, lift them up with the tractor and set them right beside the splitter. But they're still not fun. I want to get rid of these and start cutting up some smaller stuff. Except I just realized I'm out of these baskets. Well, not out of baskets, I'm just out of the ones with the fronts cut off. All right, let's slow down for a second. The time lapse looks really cool and I use that to maintain visual interest, but you want to see what I actually do to split one of these big things? Now, I do not recommend this because you could hurt yourself real quick and there's a good chance that I might screw up and hurt myself while showing you. But I don't really want to transform my horizontal splitter into its vertical position to split up these last few large rounds. So, typically, if I can, I'll take my hookaroon here and I'll just grab the log and bring it to me. Now this is a big one. This is the 32 inch that I measured out there, 31, 32 inch, something like that. And I used my little calculator for red oak and it says this should weigh over 500 pounds. I don't think so. I think that's green. This is pretty dry. I'm gonna guess it weighs at a very minimum at least 350, probably more like 400. I can usually tell by the way the tractor manages it and the way the tractor strains. I've got a good feel for how much something weighs. So I think this is probably 350 to 400 pounds. So anyway, take the hookaroon and get on it and drag it over to right where the edge is there, where it's gonna start to fall over. Put the hookaroon over here. Now I'm gonna get on the other side of it and I just kind of see how I'm rolling I love these the pallet stack. I'm telling you guys. Anyway, so just roll the thing towards you. And then when it's up on its edge like this, you can pretty much turn it any way you want. You know, put your butt behind you and get that sucker over where you need it. Now it's pretty much in place and I'm gonna split it. Now, of course, after the first split, this is only gonna weigh half as much, and that's a good thing. But one half is gonna go that way, and the other half is gonna wanna roll towards me. So, the way I do this is I stick my leg up underneath this like this to support this half of the log. And when it's split, like I said, this half is gonna roll away, and the only thing that's gonna support this, other than my leg, is this tiny little edge. What is that, 1.5 inches wide, maybe 2 inches? Yeah, cannot let it slide off of that. All right, let's give it a whirl. This one has a little bit of an ant farm in it. Yeah, I'm not going to get that mixed in with my good stuff. So that might not have been the best example because I got a small piece towards me, which is a good thing. The smaller the piece you can take off, the less you have laying on your leg. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this and hopefully get this split down the middle and then deal with these ants. Guys. Got manageable pieces. Well, that wasn't typical because of the ants. And I got a lot out of this for my own personal stash, and the rest of it went to my parents because I will not sell. No way will I sell infested firewood. I try not to anyway, best of my abilities. Even if it has a sign of infestation, I don't like that. Because, you know, customer might look at it and go, ooh, did this have bugs in it? Yeah. All right, let's go. Biggins. as the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I ate a lot of elephants today. Woo! Let me tell you though, that can be dangerous. Now I'm 54 years old and I can do that right now. And I got banged up a little bit there. Yeah, hurt my ribs, hurt my thumb a couple times. Actually got a little skin on that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it bangs you up. So that's not sustainable, like I said before. I'm thinking 10 years from now. You know, when I'm in my 60s, if I want to keep doing this, you either got to have a machine that does it for you, or you have to make smaller rounds, you know? I'll have to turn away those big pieces, but those big rounds make such beautiful, beautiful firewood. It's worth wrestling with them, I'd say. Oh, anyway, if you learned anything from this video, you should have learned, don't do that. Oh, I must be crazy. Hey, I want to thank everybody for all the input on the split fire. I'm still thinking about it, you know, and anything that I do is going to be, you know, I bought a big machine this year, buying another machine, probably take the profits from this year's firewood sales, excuse me, and put it towards maybe a splitter next year. You know, that's the way I do things, because like I said before, I'm doing this on my own, you know. I'll take sponsorships and I'll show products and I'll, you know, grow as far as the channel will grow. But for right now, I'm buying everything with my own money. So anyway, appreciate all your input and we'll see you next time when I'm doing more stuff.